And I was guilty of this a lot. Even before I met that girlfriend, I was doing so even at my workplace, Buffalo Wild Wings. When I went to the first work party, I had a friends with benefits, and even in that, those never really seemed to have worked out. So when that happened, I remember stating that it was friends with benefits. I had no intention of getting in a relationship. It was just the feeling of what everything, just the feeling of what happens when you get, close with someone, and that's was the lust inside of me. But to them, they thought otherwise. And I remember there was this whole big commotion in the workplace that I said one thing, and it was just conflict of what was potentially said. But the same friend who at the time had beaten cancer and was very positive and happy, I told her exactly everything, and she defended me, and I think everyone respected her and liked her. So all of that was squashed and everyone kind of believed me on the matter. But it wasn't about the matter of who to believe. It was about what was going to happen from the situations that I caused. And I've seen it time and time and again where it happens in a workplace. And so that's just something to be careful of. You just don't want to create a toxic environment where you might end up dipping out because you feel pressured now from either being on the receiving end of a lie or of a truth that you thought was true. Or you get what I'm trying to say. And you might end up leaving work because of that, which then puts you in another situation with family at home, or like me, leaving a lot of jobs just put me in a lot of situation of not being able to pay for anything and always having to rely on friends. So just watch out for that. So then I get the girlfriend, and one of the things I want to mention also is that the first time she visited me, I'm wearing a Buffalo Wild Wings hat, or just a hat in general, and she complimented me saying, "You look really good in a hat." And that compliment still sticks with me today, because I remember feeling a really special certain type of way in my heart, thinking like, oh, like someone genuinely complimented me and told me that I look good in something. On the reverse side, I just wore hats way too much after that. But it was good, and this just goes to say that compliments go a long way, and sometimes they're compliments that you would never think that would stick with someone for as long as they would. But that compliment still has stuck with me, and I still feel like joy from hearing that and knowing that that compliment was given. And so moving forward, I cared more about gaming than the actual relationship. I cared about it, but like I was a gamer, and I think I even forced them to game with me, which they were fine with. But my priorities were not adhering to the relationship; they were adhering to gaming. And so that's something that others should be aware of. And you have a significant other, you're not marrying a video game.